2018 looks innocent enough, but looks can be deceptive. Martin Prokop is an early casualty of the very difficult conditions of stage 13, his Ford stuck in the fesh. As he and co-driver Jan Tomanek try to dig it out, the Borgward of Eric Weavers arrives fast, narrowly avoiding disaster. Now that's gridlock in the middle of nowhere. Starting the day 18th overall is Patrick Sirijol. But it looks like he's beached his buggy in a tree. The crew are struggling to get some traction in the sand. Even being passed by a side-by-side competitor. Eventually they do get it out. But it's very hot and dirty work out there. The local drivers are on form today. Argentina's finest are starting to shine. Sebastian Halpern keeping an impressive run of being in the top 10. And this is Lucio Alvarez, pushing consistently in the top 5 quickest times on the stage. Incredibly bumpy. You just got to keep your foot down and try not to lose traction. Of the 3 Argentines mixing it up at the front, it is the Mini of Orly Terranova who's having the worst day. He had a problem at the start of the stage and lost 40 minutes. Nasser Al-Attiyah stopped in the first sector of this stage. Maybe it's another puncture, but he is absolutely flying to try and keep the pressure on Stefan Petterhansel. He must believe second place is still possible. And just watch how he takes this blind crest flat out. Now, car and position preservation seems to be the watchword for Giniel de Villiers. You can see he isn't pushing quite as hard as his Qatari teammate. Doesn't hit the jump quite as hard, braking on approach. Nonetheless, he's looking good for the 3rd quickest time today. Now that's Cyril Dupre being watched by the Gauchos. He's still continuing despite being back in 33rd overall. His new role is to offer assistance to his senior Peugeot teammates should they need it. After helping Sainz yesterday, his services are required again today because after only 78 kilometers there has been a crash for Stefan Petterhansel. He lost 46 minutes, assisted by Dupre to get going again. But the 3008 Maxi is definitely not 100%. He's slower through the rest of the stage, losing time. We broke the steering. We had no power steering. Now Dupre stopping to help Petterhansel has exposed Carlos Sainz. The Spaniard may have a healthy lead, but he knows he's alone out there if there's a mistake or a mechanical problem. Not ideal pressure for the driver who has failed to finish his last 5 Dakars. Uncomplicated by any of this, bouncing his Toyota, Bernhard ten Brink is quickest of all today, on course for a 2nd stage win for the Dutchman this Dakar, and he is quicker than both of his illustrious Toyota teammates. In 26th overall, we find the leading car in the T2 class, the Toyota of Akira Miura, tiptoeing through the soft sand. In the side-by-side category, the chasing Frenchman Patrice Garouste in 2nd overall in his Polaris is duelling brilliantly with the Can-Am of rally leader Brazilian Reinaldo Varela. A little wave from the co-driver Gustavo Gugelmin. As they pass, their lead is pretty comfortable, 1 hour overall.
For the people of Cordoba, rally racing is in the blood, even for those who come from other sports. David Nalbandian's one of Argentina's greatest ever tennis players, a Wimbledon finalist and winner of the 2005 Masters Cup. He got behind the wheel after retiring in 2013, but would he ever consider doing the Dakar?
As a discipline, rally is like sprinting. It's quick, short and quick, whereas the Dakar is more of an endurance race. It's about endurance and resistance. There are lots of days, much longer stages. If you're not driving a good car, then it's a much bigger sacrifice. If I do decide I want to race it one day, it will have to be taking place here in South America. So I'm not ruling it out. Maybe one day I'll be on the Dakar.
No lo descarto. Lo mejor algún día lo puedo llegar a hacer.
He carries the hopes of the Argentinian nation. Federico Villagra has never been so close to glory. 1 second. It's incredible, no? 12 stages done, only 1 second between Nikolaev and Villagra.
We came to compete, we came to win. Now we're 1 second behind and there's 1 day to go. There's no difference.
For me, he's among the 5 best drivers in Argentina. In whatever discipline he competes, motocross, rally, and I'm not even mentioning the way he adapted to trucks in 3 years.
The 48-year-old has seen it all. 2 wheels with motocross, 4 in WRC, and now the big monster trucks of the Dakar as part of the De Roy Iveco squad.
I've competed all my life. 9 years on a bike, then in a car, and now comes another race, an important part of my life. It's one of the most important races in the world, and one of the hardest to compete in.
In only 3 years, the Argentine has adapted in style to the big machines. As early as his first year, he finished 3rd on the podium in Rosario and 4th again last year.
These trucks are giant cars. You drive them in a very similar way. They go so fast. They're not that different to cars. There are even sectors where the trucks go faster.
After Gerard De Roy's victory in a similar truck 2 years ago, Villagra could do just as well.
It's the dream and it's the race. For sure, it would be the icing on the cake of my entire career.
1 day to go. What does Cordoba have in store for its local hero? Well, it is ridiculously close as the trucks head into stage 13. Only 1 second separates Federico Villagra from Eduard Nikolaev. The race is on for Dakar 2018 glory. This is an epic battle, an absolute classic. Now there's trouble for many in the soft sand. And an absolute disaster for Villagra. He stops for an hour and a half. That has ruined his dream of winning on his 3rd attempt, so close to home. The gaps in the overall leaderboard are as big as the trucks themselves. Jahe Vyazovic for the Maz team now looking solid for a podium, 5th quickest on the stage. The Czech crew of Martin Kolomy are way back in 11th overall, but the stage time today is very good, 4th quickest. Ton van Genuchten, the Dutchman racing for De Roy's Iveco team, is in 5th overall, keeping up with the Kamaz crews today, the 3rd quickest stage time. The 2015 Dakar winner Irat Mardiev is quickest so far on stage 13 and 4th overall. But Nikolaev retakes the lead of the rally, looking good for his 2nd consecutive Dakar win and the 15th for the Russian Kamaz team.
We stopped because of temperature issues. The engine has rhythm problems. We already had a thermostat issue in Peru the other day. No special today, but we still found ourselves at a little training track to stay in shape.
grande, pi. Somos hermanos. Otherwise we won't get that.
No, nosotros somos la leyenda.
Nosotros somos hermanos, pero les vaya mal.
It's 6 p.m. We have a temperature problem. They're gonna change the gasket. It's 6 p.m. We never give up. Still going.
Tomorrow, time for the final stage, stage 14. More than just a lap of honour, 120 kilometres of action out in the Rios of the Sierra de Cordoba as a loop to and from the bivouac at the Mario Alberto Kempes Stadium. Cordoba is the second biggest city in Argentina after Buenos Aires, one of the oldest and best preserved original Spanish colonial capitals. It is nicknamed La Docta, the learned one, as a seat of education. It has the oldest university in the country. Cordoba is also where Dakar 2018 will come to its conclusion. Join us at the finish line tomorrow.